Oh my goodness. Battle Cat, you a fool for this one. Welcome to The Foundation is yours truly, the incredible DJ Battle in the building. And hey, it's another week. Ready to jump straight to it. Disclaimer time. Basically letting you guys know that, hey man, it's just the king up in here, and I'm just going to run through a few topics that took place in between the last show and the current one. As usual, I don't want no drama, no BS, no legal issues, none of the above, because it is for entertainment purposes only. Whew. Boy, oh boy, it's been a crazy week, man. Crazy week. Oh my goodness, man. I hate to start off on this note. Man, Kyren Lacy. For you guys who don't know this story, it's really just shows you how systemic racism really plays out. And here's a young brother on the tail end of his career at LSU, Louisiana State University, playing wide receiver. You know, draft stock real high. You know, he worked hard to get up to this point. And just like anything else, when you work hard, you want to cash in. This is just a tough story because I think we talked about this, you know, when it originally went down last year, when the details were still kind of sketchy. There was an accident in Louisiana, which you see behind me. It resulted in someone getting killed. Head-on collision, bam, right? Only thing we know is they just said that, you know, Kyren has something to do with it, and he may have been responsible for this accident. This is horrible because during this whole period of time, you know, he was charged and, you know, for causing the accident. And like I said, the details are sketchy. Only thing we know is his draft stock went down. No one was going to touch him, you know, and plus he was going to face these charges of possibly doing some serious time. Now you think about this. This man he turned himself in, pleading his innocence. You know how it is when our youth get in trouble, is you're guilty until you're proven innocent. So with this hanging over his head, draft stock plummeting, no one's going to touch him, and they're pretty much painting him out as guilty. And then all of a sudden, this video surfaced. Man, it just pisses me off. So just imagine the roller coaster he has to go through. He wasn't the cause of this accident, and he's basically being painted out as guilty. So his stock just dropped, plummeted. No one wants to touch him. And it's just looking like doom and gloom because we haven't seen no video. Nobody knows nothing. And it looks like he's going to have to face some serious time because nothing was in his corner. And the pressure mounted so high that he went to a family function, like I want to say it was in April, and then he was in an accident or a one vehicle accident, and he committed suicide. So because of the mounting pressure of knowing you didn't have anything to do with it, you worked hard to get to this point, and you did what you were supposed to do. You didn't do anything wrong, but no one believes you. So the video comes out, and lo and behold, the video shows that he had nothing to do with the accident. Nothing to do with the accident. In fact, he was 72.6 yards behind the accident. The accident happened and he was 72.6 yards away from it. And all he did was went around the accident, you know, because there were people who were tending to it already. If it wasn't nothing for him to add to it, or, you know, and he had nothing to do with it, he really doesn't have no reason to stop. The video showed this green Charger going around, and that was it. And then the really part that sickens me, and this is what I say that the system really screws people over, you know, especially our people. Some people say, oh, you just, you know, you're taking it too far. It's not like that. Nah, this is the stuff that we go through all the time. This just happened to get captured on film. The officer's name is Tyler Werner. Now, he's supposed to report to the accident and just gather information and report what the witnesses or whoever is involved, that's the information he's supposed to gather and make a report from that. But this video shows him trying to coerce a victim or a witness to saying that the green Charger, the vehicle that Kyren drove, was the reason why this started. Basically framed him. It's proof. It's proof that he framed him. Here's the POS right here. And I just, it sickens me to my stomach because this man worked hard, played by the rules, did everything right, only to be set up like this. And he cracked, he couldn't handle the pressure. I wish he would have held on and just waited till all the facts presented themselves. Because we know at some point there's cameras everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. Why this video wasn't presented at the beginning when they first charged him? I'm willing to bet Tyler Werner had the information the whole time, knew the information the whole time, saw the video, but still saw in his heart to frame this young man who did nothing wrong. And then you're going to take away his dream from him, and he's going to have to face time, serious time, in a system that's always going to paint us guilty until proven innocent. And this man checks out. I'm just really sick to my stomach, to be honest with you, because this is the type of stuff I have to worry about, not only for myself, for my son, anybody I know. It could be framed in a heartbeat. And thank God for the footage, but it's too late in this situation because he's already gone. Imagine what the parents are going through. It sickens me to my stomach. And I'm willing to bet there won't be any consequences. None. I guarantee you won't be no consequences. They'll just chalk it up as, oh, it was just a technical error. And here's something else to think about. I did see his coach, Brian Kelly, when they presented this information to him and asked him questions about it, his response was pretty much, like, well, we got to see all the facts, and what more facts you need to see when you see that he had nothing to do with the accident? I guarantee if it was his son, he wouldn't have had this nonchalant attitude about, or carefree attitude about, like, let's just see the fact. He'd have been like, this POS. I cannot believe this POS has done this to this young man. He didn't even come off that way. It was almost like, oh, well, just, let's just see the thing all the way through. Let's just give benefit of the doubt and get all the facts. And even though you saw the video, they gave you all the facts you need. Well, I tell you what, my coach at my alma mater wouldn't have responded that way. At North Carolina Central, he would have been distraught. He would have felt like it was one of his own sons that had got taken out. We know how my basketball coach, Lavelle Moulton, we know he would have had a fit. All right, Kelly, let's just wait and see what happens. I'm like, you know what? Fuck y'all. I'm sorry, man. You just at this stage of the game, man, just come home. Just go back to the HBCUs. That's where I'm at with it. I'm just praying for his family, man. I can't imagine. You lose your life that young. He would have been a projected first round pick. But instead, he checked out. Well, hope you're happy, Tyler. Pretty sure you got what you ultimately wanted. But on to the next topic. Now we see what's going on in Chicago. Pretty much the same thing that took place in Washington, D.C. Now we're in Chicago with the National Guard being deployed. The governor of Illinois, he didn't want the National Guard there to participate in protecting ICE and causing all the havoc that they're causing in Chicago. Trump took up the offer from the National Guard of Texas. So this right here is like, hold up. National Guard from another state gonna come through to Chicago? What do we really have going on here? Yeah, it looks familiar, don't it? Yeah. Some National Guard from the red state that's traveling over to a blue state, into a blue city, and they're gonna protect ICE and just raise hell over there. We don't know how it's gonna play out over there. They supposed to be getting immigrants, but we hearing other stories too of some of our own citizens over there, our brothers over there getting kidnapped out there or getting taken into custody. And I've seen videos where folks with scarves over their face, they mask, so you don't know if they're ICE or if they're impersonators, and they're snatching up people, basically saying we don't need a warrant, and it's just a madhouse. Yeah, I know Chicago definitely has its share of violence for sure, but don't you think you could have went about it a little bit different? Couldn't you have coordinated something with the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago, on a local level with the folks who are going to be more invested? It just doesn't make any sense. So that's where we at right now with it in Chicago. Tear gas, and it's definitely a state of emergency and damn near martial law. It's a hot mess. So things that we thought we would never see, we see. But yeah, I know it's gonna be a certain demographic in Chicago that's gonna be happy, to see those troops. Because it is hot up there. It is a lot of, a lot of violent crimes taking place, a lot of shootings. But like I said, it has to be a different way to go about it, to deal with it on a local level instead of just coming in and just shutting everything down. But we're gonna definitely see how it play out up there. It just looks like civil war from my set of lenses. Ain't no other way to say it. It look like civil war, and don't be surprised if there's a lot of bloodshed, because I already told you 2 shows ago about a young man who represented Chicago's youth, basically saying, "Don't come up there. Don't bring the guards. The brothers ain't gonna play. They not gonna go for it." So I'm like, and I told you then, and just like I'm telling you now, don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Yeah, you may have guns, but guns don't mean nothing when it's hitting tanks. Tink, 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 tink. And a whole different set of weapons you probably never seen before. They're not gonna play fair, and they're looking for a reason to put some holes in you and reduce our population even further. Be careful up there. Be careful up there in the Chi, boy. Chirac, be careful. And yeah, man, speaking of Civil War, man, this stuff is getting out of hand. You got a judge in South Carolina, Diane Goldstein, she blocked President Trump attempt to get voter information. Next thing you know, her beach crib was in flames. And it's an investigation going on now. They're looking for arsonists, because it definitely looked like it was something that was orchestrated, planned, calculated. People are just crazy, man. I would not be surprised if it's just one crazed follower of the president who just take things to the extreme, because he deep down know it won't be no consequences. It's no different than the January insurrection crew, a lot of them folks that went to jail and being pardoned. So they figured if they burn their crib down, they'll get pardoned too, or get shown some type of favor. People are crazy, man. This is real dangerous times, and and you can see how the temperature is. Real dangerous. But yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna scoot over to the next topic. Now this one right here, man, I find kind of I don't want to say interesting, because it's more discouraging, because here's a person that you think has it all, or at least from my lenses, Ayesha Curry has everything made, and you see her on a podcast, complaining about not wanting children and wanting to be in a career-oriented person, and you just rubbing your chin like, okay, career-oriented, okay, you got a $50 or $60 million husband, that gives you the world, give you everything you could ever ask for. You can just get a nanny or whatever to watch kids if you wanted to, but you got, wow, how many kids they got? I mean, they have quite a few kids, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you didn't want no family? Well, when you start looking at things from, over the years, because this is no secret, she's always been kind of hinted around it, when she was on a show and the stripper came out or whatever, and she tried to play with, like, she was moving a ring off so that she can participate. I mean, I looked at it as okay, maybe she's just having fun and didn't make no big deal of it. But then over time, you start to pay attention, and every time she interviewed, it's almost like a sense of competition or envy or jealousy towards her own husband because he's shining, but he's giving her everything. So a brother can look at that and be like, damn, you can give a person the world, they still damn complain. You know, you didn't have no issue. You could easily just say you ain't want to say I do. You could have easily not had the kids. You could have just did your career, and you still could do your career with support. But it just seems to have, and you see her with Jada, and it's like you just see a whole different look in her eye. Like this is some competitive energy. This is supposed to be a together energy. How many women has a man that's providing everything for him and keeping a clean image. I'm looking at this like, man, who is her PR person? Because they're already painting the picture based off of what we're looking at of a train wreck coming near you. I don't get it, man. I really don't. And I'm just like, man, the Curry men, they just can't catch a break, man. Because we already seen what happened with his pops. His pops went through a similar situation with Steph's mom. We know that when you're an NBA player, you on there, it's a certain lifestyle you pretty much accept once you and most professional athletes, when they out there, they on road trips. Temptation might creep in. Not justifying it. It is what it is. In this situation, it's just weird because Dale Curry, his wife, she was with someone that went to school with him at Virginia Tech. They did their thing or whatever. And of course, the relationship, it eventually ended up being a divorce. And the bizarre thing is, you can't make this up. He divorced his wife, and his wife ended up going to Dale. So they basically wife swapped. I mean, you can't make this up, man. I'm like, man, what is it with the Curry men, the Curry family, man? This is, and you got to feel for Steph Curry, man, because he gave Ayesha the world, and it just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. She clearly wants her own path. She wants to. I think it's just one of them things. She just wanna do her, and she's already setting it up. She already had the kids, 1, 2, 3, 4. So she knows she got the bag secure, and it's at a point where only thing Steph can do is pretty much buy this time. It doesn't make sense, but hey, she know how she was wired. It just looked orchestrated. Anybody from the outside can see that this looked orchestrated. This was the ultimate goal, to get the bag. I hope it's worth it. But like they say, be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. Yeah, but this last topic, man, this right here is just, all I can do is shake my head too, man. Anytime a cop, pulls someone over for drinking and driving, the job is pretty straightforward. If you suspect them for drinking, you smell alcohol or whatever, have them get out the car, blow a breathalyzer or do a sobriety test, make sure they walk, do whatever you need to do to get the information to make sure that this person's down the road potentially harming someone. The DUI may be what's needed for a person, for them to make that change. But what this cop do is just unbearable, unthinkable, savage. His name is Tramel Cogdell. And what Tramel did is he saw this lady, young sister, swerving, decided to pull her over. And, go have her roll down the window, see the license and registration. I pulled you over, don't you? Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean. I smell some alcohol. Yes, please, don't arrest me. People say anything to get out of an arrest. Especially if they know they're going down for DUI, because that can get ugly. So he pretty much, in so many words, just gave her a pass, but only if if she performed some sexual favors. So she like, excuse me? Yeah. Go ahead, roll the window down a little bit more. Me unzip pants, and, put the sauces in the window. Take care of me, and I make it go away. So, so she must did whatever she had to do to get out of it. But then it comes out, he still got caught. And arrested for it and fired for it, which is obvious. You don't abuse your power like that. You don't even suggest no favors like that. What were you thinking? Talk about disgrace. He posted his bail and of course showed up to court, and he just like, hey, I ain't got nothing to say. Yeah, you don't need to say anything, bro. Your actions have said it all. Now you got people coming out the blue, and rightfully so. Because if you did it that easy, then that means you definitely took advantage of some other people, uh, all for the favor of not, getting a ticket or you being arrested for DUI. But DUI, come on, man, that woman could have still killed somebody. You know, yeah, it's ugly. That's all I can say. It's definitely ugly. Well, yeah, I'm about to get ready to roll up out of here. I'm not going to hold you guys up. Let you guys get back to life. Continue to follow, share with your folks. You want to interview, you want to get on the show, or if you have any idea or topics or ideas you want to shoot, hey, feel free to shoot to me. I'm always on Instagram at DJ Battle 313. Hey, it's at DJ Battle 313 on everything. But anyway, man, I'm about to get ready to roll up out of here. I catch you guys later in the week.